Yes, people. Welcome back to GNA TV. I'm your host, Jim, and let's cue the intro.
Don't know how I'm here, and it's you that I want to need. You feel your heartbeat. You feel somewhere you're looking good. You feel your heartbeat. You feel somewhere you're looking good.
Yes, people. Welcome back to GNA TV Player Rating Show. Chelsea 3, Luton 1. I'm joined with my close panelist colleague, Lambs. How you doing, Lambs? You all right?
Hey, not too bad. That was a bit better, wasn't it?
Yeah. It was. This is what we'll touch on first. Obviously, we're going to do the player ratings, people, a bit later. We're just going to quickly delve into the game and what we thought about it. We're going to assess it overall, and then we're going to individually go through each individual player and have a little chat about them and throw in a rating. We have got people in the chat as well. So we've got, Samin said hello. Alex CFC says hello. Man like Jem, Blue FTT16. Hope you're well, bro. Hope you're well. We will open up the call-ins as well near the end, so you can come in and have your say. Ad says David the Clown not giving Tammy praise really made me touching on that. What's your overall feeling on that performance overall, looking at the formation, the way we set up and that?
Do you know what, we did say we wanted to see him try something different, do something different, so I'm really glad that that we saw that. And I think we were saying to each other before the game kicked off that he's going for it looks like a Tuchel type formation as well, isn't it? So that's the formation that Tuchel used with PSG as well. So I was like, okay, cool, he's doing something different. I was a bit skeptical before kickoff because I was like, oh my god, why is Mason Mount the captain? Like, I don't know, does he deserve to be the captain? I was apprehensive that Kepa was in goal, especially with the snow. I was just like, oh my god, he's probably going to make a blunder, like dive sideways and just slip and completely miss the ball, and then we just concede like a dumb goal. We did concede a dumb goal, but we'll get onto that later. Christensen in defence, I was a bit worried. I still thought we were going to win, but I didn't think it was going to be a convincing performance. However, I was really, really impressed with our general performance. I feel like trying something new. Timo Werner in that position, that 4-2-2-2 position, like playing just behind Tammy Abraham, I thought it suited him perfectly, especially in the first half. He had tons of freedom to move around, run with the ball, use his pace. Fred threw through some passes, cut back the ball for Tammy's first goal, that little dummy for Pulisic, which he should have finished. I thought if the guy got a couple of goals, or at least 1 or 2 goals, he would have been the man of the match for me as well. And obviously I knew they would give it to Abraham because of the hat trick. But I thought Timo had a brilliant game. It was just a shame about the penalty, because I know that's what people remember. Again, people are going to bring it back to his lack of goals, but I thought he did a job as well. I don't know if I want to talk about Kepa, to be honest. I do want to keep this positive. I want to highlight the positive.
No, we're talking about Kepa. Today we will be talking about him.
Let's start positive first. I thought Ziyech had a really good first half. I thought he dropped off a little bit in the second half, but again, like, you know, we are trying to still bed him into the team. He has come back off of an injury, and again, this is a new formation that Frank Lampard's finally decided to try. But again, even though I did think it was a better performance, like, with all due respect, this is Luton, and I'm not really convinced that Tammy Abraham should be starting our next game against Wolves, but I think he is going to start. And I think, again, that's why I still, even after today, I still think Frank's not the guy to take us forward, and I still would like him to go. I thought Mason Mount and Billy Gilmore did a good job today. I thought they did exactly what they did. And again, people will come at me and say, oh, you don't like Mason Mount, you have a Mason Mount agenda, bloody, especially when I was like, why is this guy captain in the side? He's not a captain. Why? And it's not that. I do like Mason Mount. I just feel like he's been so overplayed. He's not Lampard's not bringing the best out of him. It's not doing him justice. He looks really burnt out as well. And people keep saying he's our best player. He's actually not our best player. Like, he loses the ball a lot and in vital, critical positions, but he will never be dropped. He will never be dropped. And people keep saying, oh, but he pauses. He works hard, this, that, and the other. Yeah, so did Willian. Willian worked hard for us as well, but 37 career goals. In how many years? 7 years? It's not about hard working, it's about technical ability and being more clinical. And I thought Mason Mount was more clinical last season. I want to see more than that. I want to see an improved version of the player that he was last season. And I feel like he's regressed a bit from that. And that's just because Lampard doesn't really know like how to get the best out of him. I mean, the guy's almost played literally nearly every single position so far this season, minus the back four and the goalkeeper, really and truly. So but I thought he did a good job today. I don't really have any criticisms, any complaints for him today. Another player I'm going to highlight as well, Billy Gilmore. I thought he was solid. He did the job. I want to see him get more chances. Come off the maybe not start straight away, but come off the bench, rotate around. I'd like to see him in like that DM position sitting in with Kante, to be honest, or maybe even rotate him with Mount. I'd like to see Mount maybe play a bit of a defensive midfield role rather than an attacking midfield role, because I'd rather see Kai Havertz move forward or Ziyech move forward than Mason Mount. But yeah, overall, decent performance. Can't really complain. We move on to Barnsley, don't we?
Yeah.
How about you, Graham?
Yeah, I mean, look, it was better than what we've seen in the past, especially the last couple of games that we've played, or say the last 6-7 games, actually. I feel like in the last sort of couple of games, we've struggled with intensity, struggled to shut down balls, as like we was at the beginning of the season. After the Liverpool game, we had a bit more intensity in our play, and that's why we had such a good unbeaten run. All right, we didn't win them all and we drew some, but we went 17 match unbeaten. It was because we was imposing ourselves on teams, and I feel like that's something that that we've lacked, especially the games that we've lost. We've lacked that intensity, and today obviously we switched up the formation. It was a Tuchel, I call him Tuchel, Tuchel formation. Look, at the end of the day, it is that Lampard, after having a chat with his board, sitting there thinking to himself, shit, I bet I need to do something now. I am under pressure. How about I try and nick a little trick out of his book and see if this formation would actually work? If this guy's going to come in and replace me, why not try it? And today, look, we definitely look better. I don't care. I know a lot of people were saying it's only Luton, and yeah, it is only Luton, but people forgetting that we're not playing well at the moment, and we haven't been. And today, I felt like there was a lot of things that people moaned about in terms of like the crossing in the boxes and stuff like that, which we weren't doing as much today. All our goals were created because we played good one-touch football within the box, pass and move, and that's all I've been crying out for so much for us to do that. And it is down to the players imposing themselves more, but also the formation benefited the likes of people like Timo Werner, who were making runs behind the defence, opening up spaces, allowing Pulisic to run into the space. I don't think Pulisic had the best of games today. Obviously, we'll touch on that a bit later. He had 2 very good chances that he should have put away. Let's be serious. He should be burying them. But Tammy Abraham again, you've got to take your hats off to him. He gets a hat trick today. He scores goals. He probably will end up starting the next game because of that. But I want us to see the biggest question for me is seeing how we play with this formation against the Wolves and the Burnleys, and if we can pull it off. I do think if we're going to play this formation going into the long run, you need to have a solid DM, someone that will come in and sit and hold well. I think with Mason Mount, you're not going to get that from him. And I think Billy Gilmore, in terms of his frame,
he's going
to want to go forward as well. And I feel like that's the only thing when you're playing against teams that have got very good midfields. You need someone that's going to break up play. But I like Timo. I want to shout out Timo today. Yes, he missed his penalty today. Even when he missed it, he looked so angry and he ripped his shirt off him. Like, he was just so annoyed with himself. But the thing I'd be more worried about with Timo Werner is if he wasn't making them runs or getting himself into the positions that he should be. The fact that he's still doing that, and he ran his socks off today. He looked knackered at the end of that game. He to be fair, he looked like he was going to score that goal. When he ran around the goalie, if he didn't get tripped up by that donut, he probably would have buried that. When he got the penalty, I was like, even though we got the penalty, I was like, just wish he would have just carried on and just run around him. But it didn't happen.
Record lately.
Yeah, and as Chelsea fans, we've just I feel like we've just got to back him, show him support. He's going through a hard time at the moment. It's clear and evident to see that he's got the talent. He's not a flop. He's not a flop. I don't care what
He
anyone
scored
says. He's
11
not going to be a flop.
goals. He scored 11 goals. He's not a flop.
He's not a
He's
flop.
not a
There's no way
flop.
he's a flop. You know, and people just need to just stick with him. But I think we do have to play this formation with him. At RB, this is where he was comfortable. What we saw today is how he played when he was at RB. He had Poulsen to run off. Poulsen was the main target man. He was just running off him into the gaps, which is something that I've cried out for a while. I don't think Timo Werner up front on his own is when you get the best out of him. I think you limit his movement because he's always the target man, and he's not a target man. So today you saw a lot more from Timo. He looked confident in himself. The way he was controlling the ball, he was picking up the balls, running at defenders, trying to cross balls in. And there was many times again where we whipped balls in, or we got into the box and we crossed ball in, and Tammy Abraham's in the wrong position. I mean, it happens too much sometimes. And look, overall it was good. Kepa pissed me off big time, but we'll touch base on him in a minute when we do the player rating still. But as much as he pissed me off, he kept us in the game as well with a solid hand, which is something he should have done.
Yeah, another player I want to mention as well, and I want your thoughts on this as well. Callum Hudson-Odoi. Because at that point, obviously, you know, we know what happened with Kepa, and we looked pretty comfortable until they scored that goal that kind of got them back into the tie. And after that, it did feel like we could sense the shakiness in the team. Like basically after they scored that goal, like we weren't as clinical towards the end of the first half. Towards the end of the first half and the start of the second half, because I think that goal maybe like shook him a little bit, and when they got that free kick at the end of the first half, I was sweating. But when he caught it, I was just like, okay.
Yeah, definitely.
So I was a bit like, oh, okay, this is looking good, and you can feel the loss of confidence in the players a little bit as well. They were missing opportunities. Pulisic again, like I do think he should have been better, and the more they kept on missing these opportunities, the more Luton felt like they could get back into this tie. And again, you know, Kepa made the mistake that cost us that goal as well. But then again, we do have to give credit to Kepa where it's due, because if he didn't make that save, it would have been 2-2, and we could be sitting here having a completely different discussion at the end of this game. But fair play after that. Frank must have finally listened, took Pulisic off and put Callum Hudson-Odoi on, and instantly the impact that was made, making runs, he almost scored himself, and then shortly afterwards that passing piece of play between Pulisic, Gilmore, Callum Hudson-Odoi, he cut back to Tammy Abraham, who just had a simple tap in.
Yeah, it was great, and it was all good to watch. And the only thing people will criticise Lampard on is obviously the time he made the change. But at the end of the day, he made the change, and it changed the overall game. But just quickly, there's 22 of you here, and it's growing by the looks of it as well. Smash the like button, like Strip Bear says right there. If you haven't subscribed, please subscribe as well, and please can you share the link, share it out as well. I want to get as many people in as possible today. We're going to just quickly, Johnny, because I know you asked me, have I got a link? I will be releasing a link to you guys soon. We're going to go through the player ratings in a minute. Me and Lambs are going to give our thoughts on it. I want you guys, as always, to give your ratings in the chat, and we'll bring them up as well. And then once we've done that and we've gone through it, then I will drop the link in, and you guys to come in and have your say about the overall game. I mean, look, it's an overall good performance. It is what it is. It's, you know, we should be beating them teams anyway, so it's not like we should be overexcited with it. But Hassan says Kepa looks better and better every time he plays. I think his confidence is coming back. Hassan, please no, don't do this to me, please, Hassan. Abraham was so good today. Forgot his goals, his defensive press. Yeah, and to be fair, he did put a shift in today. We can't knock him for that. So he probably will start. The problem with me with Tammy Abraham, it's not that I don't like him. I do. It's just that he's inconsistent. Why can't he just go and do that now and drive us and and lead the line? He just goes missing all the time in games. Max is in town. Max was with us yesterday when we done the mental health as well. Big up to you, bro. We made it hard work, but it was better than Tuesday, and that's and that is true. It was better than Tuesday, and it's it is what it is.
Wanted to see, innit? Just
exactly.
An improved performance.
There's love for Chose, as we can imagine. Ziyech played. Ziyech was awesome today. Yeah, he was definitely awesome today. Daniel says, love Werner. won the penalty and Havertz game Werner the ball to try and score. Yeah, I know. I think it was Kovacic that gave him the ball.
Kovacic,
I think. Yeah, Danny boy. This is Tammy's level. All the Mount bitch boys are gassed. Don't think it will be long term because you'll be disappointed. Yeah, look, we're going to touch on Mason Mount as well. Smash the like button. Let's get into the player ratings, starting with when I find his name on here because we've got so many. I don't think I've even got him on here because I don't even think we've actually ever had to bring him up because he's not been playing, has he? So let's add him in. Oh no, I can't add him in. That's annoying. Why can't I add him? I've got to delete one. It says, all right, let's delete. Sorry, people. I've just got to do a quick technical issue here on my side. Right, here we go. We're going to start.
Quick player recall.
Yeah, literally. I didn't even have him in the list because he hasn't been playing for so blimmin' long. So here he is. Let's start with you, Lance Kepa. And viewers, give us your views as well. I want your ratings now. What is your rating on Kepa and how do you think he performed today?
Well, before that save, I probably would have given him like a 2, honestly, because we looked really, really comfortable when we were 2-0 up. We were dominating the game. It was exactly what we wanted to see from Chelsea, complete dominance, but also chances, creating more chances, you know, and actually like creativity, like, which was what we haven't seen for a really long time. And if it wasn't for that absolute blunder, like literally, like you were saying, Kit Kat fingers, Gem, that's literally what kind of like shook us a little bit and made Luton feel like they have the belief to get them, like we gave them the chance to just get back into this tie. Whereas we looked home and dry, we looked really, really comfortable. And because of that blunder, that's kind of what gave them towards the back end of the first half and the start. And I was going to say start of the second half, but from the start of the second half up until maybe like the 66th minute or something, they were like, they looked a bit scary. They had some chances and it was like some heart and mouth moments, to be honest. But then again, I do have to give him credit because if he doesn't make that save, it's 2-2. We're having a completely different conversation possibly at the end of this game. So I'll round it up to a 5 today.
Oh, I mean, I'm looking at the viewers right now, and if Alex CSC says 5, Daniel says 6, Strip Bear says 6. I must be seeing a different game then. Maybe it's just me and my whole thoughts of Kepa as a player. He just upsets me a lot of the time. And look, my point is this. We're winning 2-0. We ask him to do one thing, one save in that first half, yeah. And it was Kit Kat fingers again. It's what he's been doing every game last season. You know, it wasn't even like it was over there or over there. It was straight at him. And he couldn't get a strong hand behind it. And it's poor. I'm sorry. We keep going on. I'm going to call out Prime because Prime seems to think there's a Mendy redemption. Because not Mendy, a Kepa redemption because Mendy's not this so-called good goalie that apparently we all said he was, which no one did in the first place. Kepa is still not good enough for this club. We cannot continue relying on him in goal for him to keep making the mistakes. I don't care if he did help us in the second half with that good save. Why couldn't he have done that in the beginning? It's not that. He goes throughout games where he's always got a mistake in him. Why couldn't he just be like that throughout the game? Why couldn't he just be solid? And he keeps continuing to do that for me. And that's going to cause us problems down the line if he's still at the football club. Because we can't rely on him. You just can't. You can't rely on him as an individual. He's too. I don't know what it is. Whether it's up here or what it is. It's just not. It's not working. It's not working. We need to get rid of him. It's just not good.
It's a mentality thing. It's a confidence thing as well. And the thing is, every time he does make those mistakes and blunders, like it filters through the rest of the defense and the midfield, the team. Like they feel it. They're like, oh no. And even I don't know if you noticed at the beginning of the match, Christensen made a back pass to Kepa, and Karen Kearney said, he shouldn't be putting pressure on his goalkeeper because we know what he's like, low on confidence. He shouldn't be putting pressure on his goalkeeper this early into the game because, you know, say he did make a mistake, a little blunder, and then we concede an early goal. What? So look, literally, it's just every time like the ball comes closer to our final third and in our box, like I can see the tension in our defenders because it's just like, oh, we don't trust our goalkeeper.
Trust him. Exactly. He doesn't give us any confidence. And as a goalie, you look at all the top goalies that we've had in the back, you know, in the past, Courtois, Peter Cech, even Kudachini back in the day. They were all solid goalies. They all gave us security. They made us feel okay. Like you knew that if you needed to call upon them, they would be there. You know, like
Deliver,
they
yeah.
would save you. And the goalies, and I say this to people all the time, goalies win you points. They do. They do win you
They
points because
win
it's
you
not every game
games,
that you're going
yeah.
to play at a consecutive level and dominate and batter teams. You might be 1-0 up or 1-0 behind or 0-0, for example. And then, you know, that one save that he makes keeps you in the game. You go at the other end of the pitch and you score and you win the game. And that's all down for me because of the goalie, because he keeps you in it. And you can't do it with this guy. This guy you cannot rely upon. This guy is just not good enough. So for me, I'm giving him a 3. I just don't think he's good enough. People might think I'm harsh. At the end of the day, it keeps happening. If it
No,
keeps happening
honestly,
for me too much.
I feel like that 5 was generous, and the only reason
Yeah.
why I gave that 5 was just because if he doesn't save that, we're having a completely different conversation. And fair enough, it's a standard save. He should be making that save, but because it's Kepa, it's just like oof. But because he cost us in the beginning, he kind of saved it. It almost feels like it cancels it out.
Exactly.
So that's why I'm gonna
Exactly.
round it up to 5, and just because we ended up winning the game. Otherwise, if not, then I probably would have given a much lower rating. To be fair.
I just want to answer Sam's question because he says obviously no one's been consistent week in, week out for us, but this guy's not been consistent all last season. This guy had dropped us points after points after points. You know, even this season against Southampton, when Timo Werner had probably his best game up front, he shows calamities in the goal again. Do you know what I mean? It's 3-alls, and it's just oh no. Anyway, we move on because we could be here all day with him. Reece James, Lambs, what are we saying?
Do you know what? I thought he had a better game than he has in his last couple of games. I know people are saying he's coming off the back of an injury, but to be fair, if he's injured, don't play him, to be honest, because if we're not going to get the best Reece James, then I don't want to see him play, because we've seen him make a few mistakes, and again he made another one today, and thank God they didn't capitalize on it. But the thing that worries me is that a better team capitalizes on it. But for the majority of the game, I don't think he played too badly. I'll go for a 6 today.
Yeah, look, I think Reece James didn't do too bad today. For me, he's been very poor the last couple of games when he's been called upon. He's been caught out of position against Leicester. That goal was on him for me with Maddison. He was completely out of position. You know, I'm not saying it would have changed the game because we were shit. Let's be serious. We were never going to win that game anyway. We just wasn't good enough. But he needs to improve in his positional sense. He's good. The thing with Reece James is an overall good fullback. He can get forward. He can get back. He's strong. He doesn't get bullied. He can whip balls in. He can shoot. He can play midfield if you wanted him to. You know, he's a decent. I'm just looking at some of the ratings. So we've got a 7 here. Alex CSC says 5. Chelsea fan says 6. Hassan says the balls were dangerous, but he's starting to be fatigued. I mean, he's been injured.
I agree with that, yeah.
He's been injured. For me, I'll give him a.
I agree with that. And the thing is, if he does look fatigued, then don't play him, because like you said, we've seen like the mistake against Leicester, the mistake against Arsenal, the mistake today. It's worrying. It's worrying.
It's not good enough, but at the same time, he's still young, and I do think he's going to be out of all the young players that we got. I think he's going to be the one that maybe just thrives and takes off. But I'll give him a 6 today. He wasn't crap, and he wasn't amazing. He was just, you know, he set up the goal for Tammy Abraham. Yeah. You know, he done his thing. So I feel like Reece James didn't have too much of a bad performance. So let's move on to man like Zuma. What we saying, Lambs?
He had a fairly solid game, to be honest. And again, it blows my mind why we dropped him for Rudiger. Yeah. That still baffles me a bit. But he had a couple opportunities, defended well. Thought it was pretty solid. He had an opportunity to score from a corner. I think it was a good ball in from Mason Mount, I think, on that corner. He did all right. I don't think he was to blame. Obviously, I don't think our defense was really to blame too much for Luton's goals. So I'll give him a 7. To be fair, did the job. Shows us as fans and the club and everyone else why he is our starting centre back. over Christensen, over Rudiger. He has to start. It's him and Silva. We know this already. So
Yeah, I think Zuma was okay today. He didn't do much wrong, did he? To be fair, he was solid when he was called upon. I'm looking at the ratings. There's 7, 6, 7, 7, 6, 7. So everyone's saying sort of around there. Hassan saying best aerial defender in Europe. I mean, he's a good shout of it. He's so good in the air, isn't he? Let's be serious. He's scored so many goals this season as well from it. So yeah, look, he's had a decent game. I'd give him a 6. I mean, again, he didn't do anything wrong or anything amazing, so I can't really say he was. Do you know what I mean? So yeah, no, I'd give him a good 6. Well done, Zuma. So who was playing next to him? It was Christensen, wasn't it? I even got his name on it. I don't even think I even got Christensen because again,
another one that's been dropped.
Anyway, what was your rating of Christensen? Why I'm writing
I'm not gonna lie, I was a bit worried to see him in the starting lineup, especially because I think he's definitely to blame for the draw against Aston Villa. Don't know what he was thinking. I still haven't forgiven him for that. Today, I don't think he did too much wrong as well. I still think he can be a bit shaky and I guess that's probably because he's not really getting enough game time as well. I don't like to see him pass the ball back to our goalkeeper, especially when that goalkeeper is Kepa. But, given that he didn't really do too much wrong, I can't really criticize his performance too badly. Oh, I'll go for a 6.
All right, fair enough. As you can see, I've given him the name Krusty the Clown, because that's what I call him right now. That's his new name for me, people. You've heard it here, Krusty the Clown. Krusty for me was average. Again, didn't do much wrong. He wasn't asked to do much. When he did get the ball, he looked forward. He's trying to move the ball quick. Overall, Christensen for me would probably be another 6. Would I want him playing the next game against Wolves and Burnley? No. Thiago Silva comes back in. There's no way he gets in. I still think it's an absolutely stupid decision from the ball to leave him here and let Tomori go. And do this guy over him. That hasn't sat with me pretty well. It's really not sat with me whatsoever. So at the end of the day, look, Christensen, I would give a 6. I don't want to see him play again the next game, so it is what it is. Or you can't call him can't call him Krusty the Clown. I've copyrighted that name for David Luiz.
No, he's Sideshow Bob.
Yeah, he's Sideshow Bob, Stephen. Krusty the Clown is Christensen. Strip Pay's right. Smash the like button. There's 32 of you in here at the moment. Numbers going up. It's nice to have you here. If you haven't liked, please subscribe. If you haven't, please share. We appreciate it. Moving on from Krusty.
Ratings for Christensen.
So everyone's rating is 6, 5, 6, 5. Yeah, so sort of around that. Emerson. Have I even got Emerson on here? God, this is annoying, isn't it? Oh, I have, yeah.
There's so many players that we don't like. We've completely
don't really play.
Forgotten men.
Emerson. But we stay in Lambs. Emerson.
Do you know what? I don't think he did too badly today. He did his job. Yeah, he did his job. It's average performance, nothing spectacular. Yeah, there's nothing that really stands out in my mind that I'm thinking, oh, like Emerson, that was a brilliant ball in by Emerson. But he did his job, and in terms of doing his job, I think he did his job. And I think we've been a bit critical of Chilwell lately. Like he's not really been reaching his full potential. So I think it would be a good idea to create some competition for spaces. To be honest, if Chilwell's not performing much, if he's not up to scratch, then drop him and put on Emerson. To be honest, like rotate them around. Like I'd say he needs to do the same thing with Pulisic and Callum Hudson-Odoi, because again, Callum Hudson-Odoi needs to start and Pulisic needs to earn his way back into the team. And if Chilwell's inconsistent performances continue, then I would give Emerson a start, because when he has played, he's not really done anything wrong so far this season, and even maybe the back end of last season. So that's another 6 performance for me.
Yeah, I hear you. So I was just texting because I think some of the girls are going to join us as well eventually with this. So, yeah, look, I agree. 7s, 7s. I thought Emerson was all right today. I actually thought he gave us more than what Chilwell's been giving
Chilwell
us,
has,
actually.
yeah.
And
And
will he start the next?
that's why I would vote. That's why I probably would like if Chilwell's not up to scratch, I'd probably like drop him and start Emerson. But the reason why I wouldn't give him like a 7 is because I don't think he was spectacular. He didn't like really like make that one pass or that one cross that I thought, whoa, like that was amazing. He took like 2 or 3 players out of the game. So he did what he needed to do. So that's why I'd go for a 6. If
Some
anything,
people,
if you give like halves, I'd go 6.5 basically.
yeah, Johnny Boy's giving him a 5. Emerson 7 for Hassan. Strip Bear says 6. He done quite well. There's a lot of 7. 7. Do you know what? Yeah, I'm going to give him a 7 today. I actually was quite impressed with Emerson. I'm not going to lie. At least he got forward. He was doing things that Chilwell should be doing. He was, supporting, getting down the wings, trying to, I saw him do a lot of balls into Timo Werner as well, like which Chilwell, when I've watched, hasn't been doing. Like Werner will make this run behind the defence, and then like Emerson does that ball that like, sort of whips round and opens the space behind him. And Chilwell, I've seen a couple of times where he's been in that position, but instead of making that pass, he'll turn around and he'll go backwards and sideways. Yeah, and it's too much. So for me, I would say he was a strong. Yeah, I'd say Emerson's a strong 7, and maybe we should look to. I know we spent money on Chilwell, but sometimes they need to be dropped. And if he thinks he hasn't got any competition, he should think he has, because Emerson's done quite well. So a 7 for Emerson is a good shout. So we move on to the young lad in the middle. I thought had a very good game. Billy Gilmore. What are we saying, Lambs?
Yeah, that's a great performance from Billy Gilmore. Very, very solid in that defensive midfield role. Yeah, do you know what? He's one of my favorite players, actually. And like, I'm always sitting there singing his praises. And when I see Jorginho in the starting lineup and the stinkers that Kovacic has been having recently, I'm like, what's this? Like, why are we not using this guy? When we have used him, he's done pretty well. He's been fairly solid. And I know he's been injured. He's coming off quite a nasty injury. But I've been really impressed with the minutes that he's played since he's come back. He did his job today. I didn't even miss Kante today because Gilmore, he did the job perfectly. So
yeah.
And I love that little link-up play between him, Callum Hudson-Odoi, that led up to the Tammy Abraham 3rd goal as well. Brilliant as well.
Yeah,
love to see him getting forward as well. He's great on the ball. His passing ability is phenomenal. I think this kid is going to be a superstar in like 5 years time or something, literally. I'm very, very confident, and I can see it.
Javi
So I'll
Goatmore.
give him Javi Goatmore. Yeah, I'll give him an 8 today, to be fair.
Yeah, strong performance. I like the kid. He had a good game. Everyone's saying 8, 7. Yeah, so Gilmore 7, but he's still not ready for the big EPL games yet.
He's not ready to start.
Give him 1 month.
Yeah, I'd say bring him on as a substitute, but I don't think he's ready to start some of them.
Starters, yeah, I hear you. Play Gilmore over Jorginho. He's not mobile enough defensively. Gilmore will only get. I said it on the terrace earlier. I called it out. I said Billy Gilmore is better than Jorginho. He moves forward with the balls, which Jorginho don't like doing. He wants to go sideways. He's got pace, was it? So he can recover. If he does go forward, he can recover his positions quicker. He can put a tackle in. Yes, he hasn't got the frame, but nor has Jorginho got the blimmin' frame. So people can't even throw that at me. Yeah.
Plus, he's 19. He can go to the gym. He can change his diet. He can
I understand. Have you not seen that video of him? Have you not seen the video of him working out? He's taking the piss out of him. Yeah, that's funny.
Up, mate.
I like Billy Gilmore, I really do. And at the moment, I don't really think we've got much options. And obviously, if Kante's not there, then you should be looking at him. Kovacic don't seem to be getting games as much as well. So Billy Gilmore for me was an 8.5. I really liked his performance there. I know it was only Luton. People will question his frame still and say, well, if he plays against Burnley, where they've got big people in the middle, he will get bullied. But I don't think so. I think he can. I think he can hold himself. You know what I mean? He just needs to be. I think he deserves more minutes. That's what I'm trying to say. If we're going to play him, if we're going to play this formation, I think it suits him as well, because he's very positive. He always picks the ball up and he looks for the run forward. He always looks to try and get us going. It's not like sideways, backwards, Jorginho style, which is what kills me. So yeah, everyone's saying 8. I said 8.5. What Hassan says, why did we let go of Fabregas for Jorginho? Yeah, I don't know. Honestly, don't know, bro.
Still ask myself that question today. I don't know.
We are going to move on to Mason the Don Mount. What's your views, Nams?
Okay, and again, people think I don't like Mason Mount. I really do like Mason Mount. I just don't think Lampard's doing him a justice by just playing him in all of these different positions and playing him constantly. Like, this guy's played too many minutes. Like, at the end of the day, he's 22 and he just turned 22. We need to give him time. Remember, he was playing for a championship derby like less than 2 years ago. So the fact that he's made the amount of progress that he's made is phenomenal. And don't put so much pressure on him, because like I've seen a regression in this performance and I don't want to see that. I want to see an improvement on last year's Mason Mount. But today I was a bit apprehensive because I was like, oh, I don't know about this guy captaining the side. But solid performance. Put shift in, did his job. I've got nothing bad to say about him. Put in some great balls, some great crosses. He had that chance which just went over the bar, unfortunately, but I thought he did. Yes, I was going to give him a 7 as well. Like, he did what he had to do today. And in terms of being the captain, I don't think he put a foot wrong. I don't think he should be our permanent captain yet. I still think it's a bit maybe in like a year or two, possibly, yes, but at the moment, not yet. But I think he had a solid performance today. 7, definitely.
Wicked, yeah, and I agree. And people like David, who like having a go at him every time, nitpicking him because he's been overplayed. You know, well, no, apparently he still had a poor performance, and even Kai thinks he did as well, and I don't really know why. But 7, 7, 8. Almighty Blue says 6. What else we've got? We've got quite a lot here for Mason Mount. The support for Mason Mount is massive. You know that, so I can see it. Strip Bear says Mount 7, like the captain on him. And 8. I don't get why people were moaning about him being the captain today. It's not like we had many options on the pitch, and I think people forget that if Thiago Silva's not in the team, we lack leaders. Yeah, we haven't got many leaders other than that, or Aspie, and they weren't playing today. So who is it that people wanted to be captain other than Mason Mount, other than maybe Zuma? But for me, Zuma's not a leader. You know what I mean? So look, Mason Mount for me was a 7 today. I don't think he done anything bad or amazing. Maybe he should have scored, maybe, when we had the shot outside the box. Could have done better there. But overall, the only thing I would...
Referee nudged him off the ball. That was funny.
Yeah. He had to give it back. Yeah, I remember that as well. But the only thing I would... the reason I don't criticise Mason Mount as many people do is because he does get overplayed. And it's not his fault that he's getting asked to come on the pitch and put in performances. And the reason that he does is because of his energy. But he can't always give that energy every game. So yes, he's going to have games where he's not a 7 or an 8. He's maybe a 5 and a 4 because he's playing considerably a lot of games and we're not rotating enough. So for me, it's just one of them things where, Lampard wants him in the team. I will back that at the end of the day. Yes, he will have poor performances, which we've just got to take on the chin. He's a young boy. He's not blimmin' Xavi or Iniesta. Do you know what I mean? David and Kai will be chanting super Mount in 2 years' time. I hope so, Hassan. I really do. But big up to Mason Mount and well done to him today. Moving on to this guy. Actually, no, I don't want to move on to this guy yet. We're going to come back to this guy. We're going to start with Hakim Ziyech.
Okay.
Lance, what are we saying?
I don't know. Oh. I'm hovering between giving him it's between a 6 or a 7. A 7 because I thought he looked better today. He had a great first half. I thought the balls he was putting across to Emerson on the other side, to Gilmore, threading those balls to Timo, that beautiful ball that he put through to Tammy, which he unfortunately scuffed in the beginning. I thought this is the Ziyech that we've been crying out to see week in, week out. I did think he fell off a little bit towards the end of the first half. There was a ball that came to him, but because it landed on his right foot, he decided to just turn around and cross the ball to the other side instead of taking a shot at goal. Again, decision making, not completely been clinical enough, but he was a lot better than what I do you know, actually no, I'm gonna give him a 7 today. I'm gonna give him a 7 today actually, because I
Yeah.
thought his passing was brilliant. He was breaking through the lines, which is what we've been crying out to see from Chelsea. Like we're always just passing the ball around the box because
Wow.
we just can't break through the lines as well. So I think that's a bit much, but do you know,
Yeah,
I'll
that's
push
what I
for
was
a
thinking.
7. I'll push for a 7 today.
9.5. We got
Yeah.
Strip Bear with a 7, like you, Lambs. Alex says 8. Daniel says 7. Chelsea fan says 7. Jose CFC says 6.5. Who else we got here? Handsome man. He says Ziyech behind 3 goals plus made a ton of chances. Got a good shout there. Anyone
I think
else?
he's behind like 2 of the goals,
There,
maybe not the third goal. Third goal is more Cho, I think.
there's not more to come from Ziyech. There's a lot more to come from Ziyech. I think as the minute we're only seeing glimpses in games. I'll give him a 6. Fair enough. I can't argue
Yeah.
that. Ever since you started ahead of Chilwell on form, yeah, I agree with Sal. It
Fair
was a good
enough.
shout.
Yeah, I
He's
agree with
giving
that
him an
too.
8. I'm going to give him a 7 as well. Yeah, I'm going to give him a 7 as well. I thought he played again very well. I think he's very important to this team, whatever, because when he's not in the team, we lack the creativity, and he gives us that. And yeah, he goes through the game where he's more effective than certain parts, and I get that. But as he goes on, I just see him getting better and better. You know, I just think Hakim Ziyech was such a good signing for our club. It's just that I hope that we play the right formation to get the best out of him as well, you know. And you've got to make runs. If people making runs, he will find you. You know, you want to make that run, Werner. 9 times out of 10, he will find that ball to you. And that's what I like about Hakim Ziyech. And he's such an important player to the team. So, yeah, I'd give him a strong 7, easily 7 on that one. Christian Pulisic. Lambs, I'll let you run with this one.
So going from strong performances to not so strong performances, yeah, I was a little underwhelmed by his performance yet again. I really thought this might be the game because it's against Luton. Okay, this is the game that, you know, he needs to kind of get his confidence back, playing like the Pulisic that we saw at the back end of last season, playing like the Pulisic who scored his hat-trick against Burnley. That's what I wanted to see. But chances he's missed. I mean, that little dummy by Werner, the shot that just went straight at the goalkeeper. He should be scoring those. Making runs, cutting the ball back, missing chances. It's just not good enough from his standards. So I would say it was fairly average. I'm gonna go for a 5.
Yeah, good shout. I mean, I think as fans, we forget how much he done for us at the end. So especially at the end of last season, we may have not even got the Champions League position without Christian Pulisic and the form that he actually came into. Yes, he's struggling this year. There's no condoning that. We can. I mean, a lot of people saying 4, 5, 5. You know, people are not really happy with him at the moment.
Because
He
we
had
know
2
what he can
chances.
do. We know his potential, and he's not reaching
Yeah,
it.
yeah.
He's set his
We know.
standard, and now he's underperforming.
We know he had chances today. If he puts him in the back of the net, that probably pushes him up to a 6 in my eyes, 6, 7, yeah. But he didn't, and that's where we got to be critical of him. Last season, Christian Pulisic would get in them positions and he would score them. Like he would win you games just by taking his chances. And the other thing that I've noticed that he's struggling with as well is his strengths are being direct, so getting the ball, dribbling, and taking on defenders. And today, I feel not just today. The last couple of games, I feel like it's like he's on an ice skating rink or something. Like he gets the ball and he's like struggling to. It's like it's a hot potato. He's struggling to control it and run at people and
Well,
be that.
today he kind of was on a nice rink.
Yeah, he was,
But
and he's
still,
been like that for a while though, and I don't know why. If it's just if he needs to just be rested, you got to bear in mind he's been again. We talk about Mason Mount. He's been playing a lot of football since he's come back. At Leicester, he was playing right wing when Ziyech should have been playing, but Ziyech was on the bench. So, like, he seems like Lampard again is showing a lot of confidence in Christian Pulisic. And look, we're going to talk about Cho in a bit. And for me, Cho should be starting games. There's no condoning that. Based upon form, Cho has been the better individual. But at the moment, I would probably give him a 4.5, 4. There's not much more I could give him on that, on based upon that performance. Johnny Boy says 6. Who else says it? 5, 6 for Strip Bear. I mean, you know, it's
yeah,
just
an average 5 from me, to be honest. It was again, like you said,
Moving
he
on.
puts one of those chances away, possibly a 6, but
Yeah.
just really underwhelming because we know what he can do, and since he's come back from injury, he's not reached that potential. Hello.
Yeah. I want to jump onto Timo Werner. I feel like again, he was awesome today for me. He come out. He was good against Leicester when he came on. He scored his goal and he was unlucky. For me, it was a goal. Should never have been offside. Today, he made that run behind. He got round the goal. He probably would have buried it, but got tripped up and he missed the penalty. And everyone's going to criticise him for that. But Lambs, I'll let you start with it. How do you feel Timo Werner performed today overall?
That's more like it. That's what we've wanted to see. And the reason why we saw like this different Timo, this free Timo, suddenly he's got space, suddenly he's using his pace, he's making passes, he's doing these cute little dummies, he's cutting the ball back, he's whipping the ball into the box, low crosses, high crosses, he's literally everywhere. And it's because of that 4-2-2-2 formation where he's literally playing just behind Tammy, and like you said, it gives him more freedom, more space to basically be who he is, because that's how he used to play in Leipzig as well. And we saw a much better Timo than we've seen recently. And again, it's just positioning. Play the guy in his right position. Play players in their right position. You will see the best out of them. Do you know what I mean? And this is what annoyed me when I was talking about why are we playing Mason Mount as a winger when we have a great winger in Callum Hudson-Odoi. Mason Mount is not a winger. Play players in their right position. You'll get the best out of them. Timo Werner, I thought, was brilliant. The only issue, and again, people keep it's his lack of goals, and I think that's a confidence issue. It will come. We can see that it's coming. Again, you'll get a lot of stick for missing the penalty. For again, his lack of goal. But again, he set up the first goal. He was involved everywhere today. He was everywhere today. I just wish he scored a goal. If he scored a goal, I probably would have given him a 9, but I'll give him an 8 today because I feel like this was the Timo that I was waiting to see.
Hear you. And then looking at what they're saying in the ratings, I mean, we've got a lot of let's have a look here. 6, 5.5. I mean, people are saying, I mean, Daniel says 7.5. Alex says 6.
Everyone's being a bit harsh today.
7.
Wow.
What else we've got here? 7 from Chelsea fan. Stripbear says 6.5 to 7. Max says he had a strong 8 today. He was cursed. He feels like he's cursed at the moment in front of goal. And look, it will happen. Look, Timo Werner today, the reason that you saw is not because, we're playing Luton. Yeah, we get that it was Luton. I hear it. But the reason you saw more from Timo Werner today is because we played him in the position that he played at RB, which was off Poulsen. You had the target man in Tammy Abraham, and then you had Timo being able to run off them into spaces, making runs behind the defence. And that's his game. Timo's game is his movement. His movement in, behind the defence, picking the ball up, being able to take them on 1-on-1 and scoring. Or, and that's how he's got all his goals for RB. The thing that I want to see moving forward to next week is I want to see this. If you're going to play Timo, I want to see this. I don't want to see him on the wings. I don't even want to see him up front in his own. I think Tammy Abraham deserves to start based upon getting a hat-trick today. He's going to have to start. Do you know what I mean? Going into that game. But to get the best out of Timo Werner is to play him where he is. And for me, it's just a no-brainer. And he will come good. He's too good. I'm telling you, he is too good. You can just tell. I'd be more worried about him if he wasn't making the runs, if he wasn't making the movement. The fact that he's still doing all that and he's running his socks off. The guy was nearly out of breath. Do you know what I mean? He played so well. So, for me, big game for Timo Werner. I'm happy for him. I hope that penalty didn't get in here, though. I hope he goes into next game and thinks, you know what? I was better today. My movement was good. I was just, I missed that. I'm angry with myself. Moving into that next game, I'm going to score. That's what he's got to be like.
You could really see the pain in his face after he missed it. He wanted to rip his shirt off. You can tell it really, really got to him. And like you said, I hope this doesn't affect his mentality. Think, okay, you almost got it. Keep that same intensity. And obviously, it depends what formation he's going to go with against Wolves. But if he goes for a similar or the same formation, then come out all guns blazing. I'm so sure that he will get a goal against Wolves. But again, I think that depends on the rest of the lineup as well. So let's
see what happens, isn't it? Let's see what happens. But please smash the like button, people. Subscribe. I've seen some new people in the chat today that I've not seen before. So if you're still here, please subscribe. We appreciate it a lot. Moving on to the probably the man of the match in many ways because of all his goals today. Where is he? Can I even find? Oh, here he is. Man like Tammy Abraham. Lambs, what are we saying about Tammy?
He did what he was supposed to do. I mean, as a striker, you expect your striker to put away those goals. He didn't. I don't think he had to particularly work hard for it, to be honest. Like, he did what he had to do. Yeah, but at the end of the day, he scored them. He didn't miss them. So, and taking your chances is important, as we well know. And the reason why people kind of get onto Tammy a lot is because he's just not consistent with these performances. Yeah. Sometimes like you'll see him Ziyech or like a Reece James or something will put a cross in, it will land perfectly and it will just scuff it. It will just go wide or above the bar and it'll just be like, Tammy, why? What are you doing? Like, so but I think today he did everything he was supposed to do. Communication was brilliant. He got into positions where he's supposed to be. And I wouldn't give him a 10 because I personally still don't think he's consistently good enough. And personally, I don't want him to start against Wolves. I know he's going to, but I don't think he's going to start against Wolves. And I think when he does start against Wolves, and depending on how that game goes, everyone will start to see, oh, okay, maybe we shouldn't have, started gassing him too much or whatever. Because at the end of the day, with all due respect, this is Luton. So I'm going to give him an 8.5 today.
8.5, fair enough. I think everyone's gone a bit. We've got 9.9s, we've got 8s, we've got 9.5s here, we've got 10. Or someone's just said this isn't FIFA rating 10. Hassan, Tammy 9.9. Tell David he's got a huge agenda. Yeah, I tell him every day in group chat, bro. Don't worry about that. Tammy is a 10. Chelsea fan says 8. Look, for me, Tammy was a 8 today. He got his goals. He still needed another 3 or 4 chances to get his hat trick. Don't get me wrong, he could have had more, to be fair, if he was in the right positions or made the right runs. And that's my biggest criticism of Tammy Abraham. He doesn't seem to get himself in the right positions enough. If he did, he'd be so good. He'd get so more goals. Like, he can finish. We know that. He can put the ball in the back of the net. But I want to see...
When we're doing crossing, inshallah, he's nowhere to be found. Like,
exactly.
They're doing that to find you in the box, but where are you? So, and again, this is exactly what you're saying, Jem.
Yeah, I would give him a strong 8.
Positions consistently. Today he did, but like you said, he could have got more. At the end of the day, Pulisic could have had a hat trick or 2 goals at least today. So
I'm only going to talk about one substitution today because I feel like he deserves it. The others didn't really do much, so we're not going to delve into that. But Callum Hudson-Odoi, he keeps knocking on Lampard's door. He keeps saying, I'm here. He keeps huffing and puffing. Lampard's still showing that he's not really backing him, or if he still thinks that he's not the man to lead and start in the games. I mean, what do you think of his performances today?
I mean, not even just today. How many times have we been sat there watching a game, watch this guy come on and just change the game for us? And without his impact as a substitute, there's a lot of games we probably wouldn't even have got a draw from. We wouldn't have like edged that win. Instead of getting those 3 points, we would have got a point. Instead of getting that point, we would have got no points. So I think it's clear to see, like you said, based on meritocracy, based on who deserves to start, who is the better winger at the moment in that left position, it has to be Cho. If I'm Cho, I'm not just knocking on Lampard's door. I'm being, why is this guy still starting over me?
I would be kicking a fuss. Today, I'd be kicking that door down.
Same.
Do you know what I mean?
I'll be like, are you mad? Are you actually mad? Because as soon as he came on, he almost scored himself first, and then he set up Tammy Abraham's third goal, literally like minutes afterwards. Like, and that's the impact of the sub. Against Arsenal, we were crap. We were in the mud. This guy came on and almost gave us a bit of hope towards the end. Almost. But it was his impact. It was his impact. And how many times are we sitting here saying, oh my God, even against Leicester, his impact again. Again, for me, this guy, I'm going to give him a 7.5 today.
So we've got 8s, we've got 7.5s from Mark Viduka, we've got 7 from Johnny Boy Blue, we've got 8.5 for Cho. We've got Monster CFC in the house. He's saying, "Yo, Lambs, those glasses are huge."
My
Lampard's.
eyes are
Monster,
huge.
if you're free, bro, I don't know if you're around. I'll drop you the link. Bro. Yeah, for me, he was definitely a solid 8. He only came on for a little while, and he was an 8. Like the guy needs to be, be
I would
playing.
have given him an 8 if he'd stayed on for longer, because he was literally on for like 20 minutes, give or take. It has to be, but even in those 20 minutes, huge impact. So 7.5. If he'd got a goal, I would have put it up to an 8. To be fair.
Monster, I just sent you a link, but I didn't see that, bro. So sorry about that. But yeah, no worries, bro. If you're at work, no worries. Strip Bear says we've got 35 people here. Smash the like button if you haven't. I'm surprised we haven't had more likes than viewers, but try and remember to subscribe. Yes, please subscribe. If you're new into this channel, please subscribe. Yeah, it would mean a lot to us, man, moving forward. I want to move on quickly to your man of the match. Is there any doubt who it should be? Man of the match of today?
I know it's Tammy, but for me, it's Timo. Because I feel like Timo did more. He had more of an impact during the game, where it's almost kind of like Timo cooked the meal and Tammy just had to finish his dinner, basically. So for me, I would my man of the match is Timo. Obviously, I know that they gave it to Tammy because of the hat trick, but for me, I think it's Timo Werner for me.
Wicked, Timo Werner. Okay, a lot of people saying Tammy, some people saying Ziyech. Yeah, I would probably give it. I am going to give it to Tammy today for me. I think Werner was great, but Tammy scored his goals today. And sometimes I feel like we're really harsh on him as an individual and his performances. And for me, Tammy had a very good game today. He did work hard off the ball as well. Even when Werner was up front, he was covering covering the left and trying to dig in deep into midfield to try and break up play and that. And yeah, so for me, Tammy Abraham is definitely the guy I would give as man of the match. Looking at well, we'll talk about him quickly. I always do it at the end. Frank Lampard. What are we rating Frank Lampard's performance?
Do you know what?
2 seconds, Lam. I got to come back in 2. You can start. I'm just gonna come. I've just got to do something quickly. Yeah.
All right. Cool. So Frank Lampard, personally, I still want him to go. I still don't think he's good enough for this team. But I'm going to give him credit where credit's due today. He changed it up. He did something different. Not every day 4-3-3, not every day just the same old sideways, backwards passing, no impact on the front, nothing clinical, no creativity. Today, I'm going to give him credit because he changed up the formation. He did something different, and it worked. We played, I'm not saying like, oh, we completely turned it around, but we played better than what we have been. And again, we still need to be aware that this is Luton. The level of the opposition is not, it's not like up to our usual Prem level, but he tried something new. It worked, and it not only just highlighted, it not only just made one player stand out, the same consistent player that everyone's just constantly bringing up all the time. We're now sitting here talking about other players, like Gilmore had a good game, Ziyech had a good game, despite not scoring. Werner had a good game. Cho, getting the recognition he deserves because he's been epic. Tammy finishing off the chances. And again, this system has brought out better performances in multiple players. So still want him to go, but I'm going to give him a 6.5 for today.
Fair enough. For me, I mean, there's a lot of 6.5, 7s, and 8 here from Real Chris for him. Sammy's in town. Sammy, big up to you, bro. If you haven't, again, you're new here, bro. If you could please subscribe, I appreciate it. Yeah, 6, that's good. To be fair, like, for me, he was a 7. I mean, he could have brought Cho on earlier. Let's be serious. Pulisic should have come off earlier. Other than that, but he did bring him on, and we did end the game because of it. So, yeah, he could have brought him on earlier. Yes, it still won us the game because he made the substitution a bit later on. I'll give him a 7. I don't think he was poor. I wouldn't think he was bad. So yeah, Lampard, you know, you should be winning these games. I'm not going to sit here and say otherwise. I'm more interested to see how you get on next week with Burnley and Wolves. Wolves on Wednesday, Burnley Sunday. They're the games where I want to see if you're going to stick to this formation, stick with it. I don't know if it's going to work or not, but stick with it. And then I want to see how we perform going into them games. And if you can, you know, if you can get max results by the end of this week on both games, then maybe we'll be a lot more happier about Lampard and what he's doing at the moment. Because at the end of the day, all we want is to win. Yeah, I know people moan about, oh, we won, but we playing crap. But if we're winning, who cares? Do you know what I mean? That's why I look at it. Who cares? And it is what it is right now. And until he sorts out and susses what he thinks is the best formation, and again, he's against the clock as well, isn't he? To be fair, so it is what it is.
I mean, like, we're like over halfway through the season. This is the first time we've seen Timo Werner playing this position. So,
Yeah.
and again, it's just like taking you this long to figure out, and you know, it's working. We've seen that it's worked. So, you know, like maybe, and this is why I liked Lampard more last year, because he wanted to take risks. He wanted to prove himself. He wanted to change things up, and he did that a lot more. Like, fair enough, the performances weren't always stellar, but they were exciting. We could see some hope, glimpses, promises there. Whereas lately, it's just been so lethargic and boring. So I'm going to give him credit today for deciding to be brave and change things up. My God, if he goes back to a 4-3-3 on Wednesday, I'm going to be fuming.
Well, yeah,
So-
well, this is it. This is the next question. Sal says, Jim, do you think Lampard will go back to 4-3-3? I don't know. I honestly don't know what he's going to do. Like, you can never predict with Lampard at the moment. I hope he sticks to this, because we was a lot more fluent, a lot more creative. We look better. I think you will need a sitting DM, someone that can actually play that formation. If you're going to play that formation, Kante would be good. If you're going to play Mason Mount, next to Mason Mount, someone that can break up the play a bit better and stuff. But I have put the link in the chat. If you want to come in and have your say for the next 10, 15 minutes, do so. We have Johnny Boy Blue here. Johnny, how you doing, bro?
How you doing, Germ Lambs? All right?
Yeah, we're not bad, bro.
Bad.
What would you like to say, bro? What was your views on the game today? Tell us.
Obviously, the opposition is, Luton, so let's not run away from that. But I would say what I was so happy with was the way we actually played, the way we actually went and wanted to attack and create chances. Billy Chevy Goatmore, as I call him, he was, for me, the reason for how we played as well, because of his progression from defence, midfield to attack. And he had that sort of support with Mason Mount to pull him through. It was a good game for them to run it in midfield. But yeah, gutted for Timo, obviously, because I really wanted him to bang that penalty in, but it didn't come. But he will come good, no question. He's going to be world class for us, guaranteed.
Who was your man of the match, Johnny?
I mean, obviously, player scores a hat trick. It kind of goes without saying. But if I had to choose, I would probably go with Gilmore, just for the reason that how he controlled the game. He just added calmness. He made the right passes, whether it was out wide or down the middle or back to defence. He just orchestrated the whole midfield for me, and that's something we've lacked big time. I would say with Pulisic, I know everyone's on Pulisic's back, but he has come back from 2 injuries. So I think give him a few more games and he will come good. But it's just he offers you something different that the other players don't.
Yeah. No, I hear you. And look, like you said, Johnny, you couldn't have said it any clearer. Like, it is only Luton. There's bigger tests to come moving into next week, where we want to see better performances. So yeah, we'll just have to see what happens going into next week, bro. But what was your thoughts on Kepa?
For Kepa, I slandered Kepa for that mistake on Twitter, I'll be honest. But fair play to him. He got some redemption back, and I think. That he made that second save that was offside, but it was still a save. So for me, he pulled out 2 critical saves, and I think it's just down to lack of game time. I think if he was playing as many games as Mendy, I don't think he would have made that mistake. I genuinely don't think he would have. But he did, and hopefully the big save will give him that boost that he needs, because he's really low on confidence. It's clear. But we'll see what happens. I mean, I think this game now has given us a nice platform to build upon to go into. Is it Wolves next?
We've got Wolves on Wednesday
Yeah.
at 6 o'clock, and then we've got Burnley on Sunday at 12 o'clock. So
Yeah. So for the
games.
Wolves game, it's a I think it's a nice confidence booster, and I'm happy for Frank, because I'm Lampard.
Are you in the forest, Johnny?
Huh?
Are you in the forest? Are you in the forest? Because everyone's saying they can hear your birds.
You know what? I got all them bird seeds out there in the trees, so they all can't get all the blue tips and the robins and that. So yeah, I'm just in
Lunchtime.
yeah.
Strip Best says this is one of the best Chelsea channels out there for real. Please subscribe. Ladies' Night, very cool now, and others are copying and share on your socials. Well, I've not seen that, but yeah, no, we appreciate your support, Strip Bear. I'd love to have you on eventually as well. But Johnny, thank you for coming on, bro.
Tweeting for you, Jim. Do you know what I mean? Even the birds are tweeting, bro. They're tweeting.
Yeah, I know. Oh, Johnny, you do crack me up, man. I swear. Johnny, thank you for coming on, bro. I appreciate your time as always. Take care of yourself, bro.
See you guys. Bye, bye, bye.
Oh, I love Johnny, man. He's so funny. Alex CFC's in the house. How you doing, Alex?
You alright, guys? How are you?
Yeah,
Not
not too
bro. How
bad.
you doing?
Good. No, I just want to say big up to you for last night, for doing that stream last night, just to tell you. And
Thank you, man.
yeah, no, today's performance, I guess, was good. I'm happy that Lampard kind of changed things up I think Luton was kind of the best game to change things up, obviously because of the levels, but it's not as high. It's probably in the I would want to see him play the same formation or same kind of way and style of playing. With Pulisic, I think he just needs to just keep playing and just keep doing the same things, and I think it will come. I think he just needs that bit more. Yeah, I think he's got the confidence. He just needs a bit more composure on the ball. He's sometimes just not composed. He just seems a little bit. Sometimes same as I think almost the whole team were just Tammy, Abraham, Timo, Mount. Sometimes they're all just thinking they need to do more than what they need to do. Like they're just rushing on the ball. Sometimes it just needs a bit more calmness and just say, hey, look, you're doing well. Like don't think you have to do everything. So it's yeah. And then when the goal from Kepa came in, like I wasn't angry. I was laughing. I was just like, oh my god! I was just laughing. I just here we go again. And but yeah, I don't know. I couldn't stop laughing. I was just laughing. I wasn't even like I was happy. I was like yes, like I was like, I couldn't stop laughing.
When is this going to stop, Velvishwan? Big up, Jem, for your Manscaped tutorial video on Oli's fans. Really helpful. Oh my god. Right, listen, can I just say something very clearly? I do not have an OnlyFans. Yeah, keep saying this to me. I do not have an OnlyFans show. Yeah, don't try and look for it because it's not going to be there. So yeah, I don't use Manscaped. Yeah.
Quick question, guys. Would you pay if Jem brought out an OnlyFans page, and how much would you pay per month?
Yeah,
leave your comments now.
You heard the man's
How
literally.
How much would you pay
for me?
For Jem's OnlyFans.
How much did you pay for my OnlyFans, people? I might think about it if it's good money. Let me know in the chat. Let us know in the chat. It's 26 of you.
Gem is not for sale. Gem is not for sale.
No, I'm taken, brother. I ain't gonna lie. Yeah, no, Kepa was poor, brother. I keep saying it. Kit Kat fingers is just he kills me. Like I can't stand the donut. Hassan's already commented. It says CFGM OnlyFans, 20 quid a month. My god, the content he puts on there. Daniel says £5 a month. Come on, Dan. I want a bit higher than that, mate. Give me at least 20, 30 quid. How much would you pay for me to have an OnlyFans? Do you know what I mean? Come on, man. Dan, you put £50 chats in, mate. You could obviously. Oh, wait a sec. Velvishwan says £15.69 to be precise.
69 pence.
You live in hell, people. You got to laugh, didn't you? You got to laugh. But yeah, no, Alex, you're right. I mean, are you looking like going into the next week? Wolves. Let's talk about Wolves quickly before we end the stream. Are you confident going into this game, and do you think we should continue with the same formation that we played today, or do you think
I
Lampard
think
will go back to like a 4-3?
I hope we continue the same formation because I think he is getting the best out of Timo. And the thing is with Timo, I think he's the same player that scored over 30 goals last season. He's not a different player.
Yeah.
He's still that player. You know, he was still the second top goal scorer in Europe. You know, behind Lewandowski. He's not that player that's gone or anywhere. And the thing is, the one thing you always want from players is to try and to keep working. And the good thing is that he's doing that. You know, like sometimes, you know, when players are down, they would stop doing the normal things they're doing. But he's actually always looking to do something. Obviously, yes, I think there is some key stages in his game that can improve, but that's just down to confidence. And but there was but I think we should play the same information. I think, to be honest, I think Gilmore needs to start the next game. I think even with Wolves, the only problem with Wolves is that now Wolves are in the same problem as Chelsea at the moment. You know, they're in bad form, so they're looking for a bit of a big win. So this game is going to be interesting because I think both teams are going to be looking to get a win in that game. But yeah, I think Gilmore has to start. I think, to be honest, I think why not just give him a chance and at the end of the day, we'll see what happens. You know what I mean? I think Lampard's job is probably on the ropes, so you might just see and just try out something. You know what I mean? Because I think you'll get more praise for that. And yeah, I think Zuma needs to come back in. I do not want to see Rudiger play again, please. I beg. Yeah, besides that, I think the aerial, we might be good aerially against Wolves. Maybe keep the Tammy. I think Tammy should start. You know, I think getting the 3 goals. I hope he doesn't become inconsistent again against the top teams. But
that's the biggest question with him. Yeah. That's the big question with Tammy. He's very inconsistent, and he will start the next game. He deserves to. He got a hat trick today, but I want to see him continue with it. Yeah.
With what was the guy's name on BBC? The striker,
Danny Murphy, Hasselbank.
Yeah, Hasselbank. Yeah, like, you know, he praises a lot of Tammy Abraham, but you know, he still wants him to do. You know, there were so many times today in this game where if Tammy Abraham's the perfect player would be if Pulisic, if Werner and Tammy Abraham became one player, because Tammy Abraham can finish, but he needs to get better at that movement. He doesn't sense danger every single time that there's always been a balls there. He's always 2 seconds late.
Yeah.
Yes, obviously some of the goals he scored were good goals, but at the same time there was moments where if he adds that to his game, he could score 20 goals a season. He just needs to like become one of those. He's not that poacher of a player yet. You know, he's getting there, but he just needs to improve on that game, on that side of his game. But yeah.
Yeah, I hear you, bro. Lambs, what's your thoughts on Wolves before we sum up? What you were hoping to see and what you expected? Obviously, we lost to them already. We need a bit of revenge, don't we? So, what are you saying?
Do you know what's so crazy? People think, oh, okay, you should try and do well because they've got like a lack of strikers, but that doesn't mean anything to me. We still know what we're like. Defensively, Wolves are pretty solid and Nuno's got them pretty drilled. I think we will see a lot more crosses going into the box. And for that reason, I would like to see Olivier Giroud there instead of Tammy Abraham. I want him to go for this 4-2-2-2 formation, but instead of starting with Tammy, I want Olivier Giroud then and Timo playing off of him like he did today. I think that because Olivier Giroud's presence in the box, I'm sorry, I feel like it's so much more impactful than Tammy Abraham. And we've seen Tammy try and get in the box a lot of these times against these defensively well-drilled teams. And he's muscled off the ball so easily. Yeah. He can't get the ball. He just missing chances. Ball goes up. The defender always gets the ball. The defender always wins the ball. Whereas when Giroud's there, it's a bit of a 50-50. And even if he wins the ball, he wins the first ball, he can set it up to, you know, to a Timo, to a Pulisic or a Cho or something, and they can take a shot on goal, or even cut back to like a Mount and they can take a shot on goal. But I think he's going to start Tammy, and I think it's the wrong choice. I would still go for this formation, but I just don't think it's.
There is more balance with
Yeah, yeah.
Giroud in the team. I think that is true. There is a bit more balance. I think with Giroud. It's just Tammy,
Yeah.
just a bit inconsistent.
And
just
yeah,
so
as I said, Giroud is Premier League proven. Like he's
yeah,
done this consistently. We know what
yeah.
we know. There's a reason why Deschamps still wants him. There's a reason why he
Yeah.
still walks into France's first team despite
He's a
all
good.
the quality of players that they
He's a
have.
good
His
striker.
presence. Thank
Yeah, he's a
you.
good
It's
striker. He is.
amazing.
His movement as a striker is next to none, and it's something that
Like
we actually don't have in the squad.
yeah.
Tammy's movement's not great. It's just that when he gets a chance, he needs about 4 or 5 of them to get on the end and score. But Alex, thank you for coming on, bro. We're gonna have to let you go. See you again soon, yeah, brother. Take care of yourself. We are going to finish off. We've got one guy quickly. Let him come in as well. Ryan,
Yo,
how you doing?
yeah, not bad, mate. How are you?
Yeah, not bad, bro. Not bad. Not bad. First time on here?
Yeah, first time on it, mate.
Yeah. Have you just found us now, or?
Yeah, I just found you now, man. I saw you on the football terrace. I only started watching
Oh,
that
okay.
a couple of weeks ago, and I saw you guys, and I thought, yeah, check it out. But anyways,
Cheers, man.
to
Appreciate
the
it.
game, I just want to say on the game that I think we played really well. You know, the most frustrating thing about Lampard is,
Yeah,
we've been calling for a formation change. You know, maybe a month before this now, and now he's starting to do it when his job is like. I think he's probably lost his job at this point. He's doing everything we want him to do, but so at a point where it won't make a difference. You know what I mean?
Mm. Yeah, I
And
hear you. Yeah,
it's very frustrating. And I think, but the potential of this team, I mean, our players are we have so much potential. And I don't know. I hope the next manager, we don't get Thomas Tuchel in. I hope we go for Nagelsmann, to be honest.
really.
Yeah,
Why Nagelsmann? No, is it more of the system thing, style thing? What is it? What's your reasons for
I
that?
think well, if you look at our players, we have a lot of flexibility in terms of where our players can play.
Mm.
I even saw on Twitter the other day that why don't we play Christensen at CDM? Just try it for one game. Like this would have been a good game to try at. And I mean, Nagelsmann, he employs so many different systems, so many different tactics, and uses players in so many different ways that I feel, and also the Timo Werner link is really nice as well. He could definitely get the best out of our players, I feel. And I feel Nagelsmann is going to be the next Pep. I really do think that.
Really?
Yeah.
That's a big statement, bro. That's a big statement in Germany.
I mean, if you look at his rise with Hoffenheimen and now Isaac, it's pretty amazing, to be honest.
I hear you. I do like your picture. I'm not going to lie. One of my favourite players ever, Gianfranco.
Yeah, I'm a little bit older than most of the people like David and stuff, you know. So.
Yeah, same, man. Same. I was in the days of when Zola was, Zola, Vialli's,
Vialli,
Poyet's, Petrescu's, do you know what I mean? Lebus, they were great days to watch. We were a very good, really sexy team to watch at the time. But Ryan, if you haven't subscribed, bro. I'd like to see you come on a lot more. We do a lot of fan call-ins as well, where you can have your say about your teams. Obviously, we do player rating shows like we are now every sort of. At the end of every sort of game as well. So, thank you for coming on. Yeah, every after a game. Yeah, thank you for coming on, though, bro. We appreciate it. I'm going to tie it up, but we'll see you again soon. Yeah, take care of yourself.
Yeah, nice try, mate. Thank you. See ya.
See you later, mate. Take care. Lambs.
See you, Ryan.
We're done. I think we're done, haven't we? I think we've done well. Hour and 20 minutes. I want to watch the Liverpool Man United game. Yeah. I've got food sitting downstairs and I can smell it going up my nose
mind
like that.
Off the stress today.
It's like, you know what I mean? It's sending me out. Lam, do you want to shout out your socials?
Oh, still you. Yeah. So the only social media I really use is Instagram, so that's my handle over there. You can also find me here on the Chelsea Ladies Show on GNA TV every Friday at 8. You can find me on Bits and Bob's channel on most Fridays between 6 to 7. And we have a new co-host joining us for our What Now show, so stay tuned to find out who that is. He's a great person, but I'm not going to say any more about that. You can also catch me on Midnight Vibes on the Football Terrace as well. And here and there from time to time whenever Monster does his live streams as well. So yeah, that's
wicked.
me.
Well, I'll be on Bits and Bob's show tonight, Bits and Bob's Meets. I'll be on there at 8:30. So everyone that's tuned in at the moment, make sure you tune in over there at 8:30. Yeah, really looking forward to that. I think we're gonna delve into me really and stuff. So interesting stuff that I haven't personally shared and stuff. So yeah, no, tune in with that. Lambs, I appreciate your support coming on here, and obviously I'll see you at the Chelsea Lady Show again.
Indeed.
Other than that, you can find me, add to Sophia in the description below. Twitter links are there. Yeah, big up to Chelsea. Well done. 3-1. We got the job done. We move on to Wednesday. We need a big performance. And hopefully the next player rating, when we're sitting here all together, we can actually be happy about a performance against Wolves.
Let's hope we're not back on the wine next Friday.
Well, like I said to you, if you see me switch to something stronger, then you know there's something going on. So we'll see what happens. Anyway, people, peace. We'll see you again very, very soon. And thank you again for tuning in with GNA TV. We're out. See you later.
It's like it's playtime and it's free time. In the dance, they have to take a glance. We step